What's going on, friends, family, my people? It's time to hit you with some more bombs right now. You know I got to get it out there before they start making this illegal. What I'm telling you right now is crazy illegal. You ain't supposed to know this information. I'm about to hit you with some more bangers right now, but first, let me follow up on some of the things that I talked about in my last video as far as excess deaths. So every year, there is a number of expected amount of people that they expect to die, right? I know it sounds crazy, but there is an assumption of how many people are going to pass away for that year. And in 2023, they stopped updating that website on the CDC's website. They stopped letting people know because the chart started to look parabolic. So not only did they stop updating it, they actually went in and manipulated the numbers a little bit to make it look like less people died than they assumed. So that way the graph looks better. But I have screenshots of both before they manipulated it and after they manipulated it. So they can't hide from their own technology. And let's talk about it. In my last video, we talked about vitamin D. Vitamin D is very, very crucial to your overall health and well-being, right? So you get the most vitamin D out of the sunlight between the hours of 10 o'clock in the morning and 4 p.m. But just coincidentally, that's around the same time these airplanes are dropping the aerosol spray. And partly what they do is they scatter the sunlight. So you're not really able to absorb the ultraviolet sun rays from the UVB around that time because they scatter in it. So what you have to do is you have to supplement. You want to get some ADK. Pair that with some magnesium if you can. And while we're on the subject of vitamin D, let's talk about it. This is a little known fact. During COVID, remember, vitamin D was so important, right? You get it from the sunlight, you get it from supplementation. Well, Bill Gates was funding research for some of the remedies that you could take for the COVID virus, right? So what he was doing was funding these companies to find some kind of cure for it. But if you use vitamin D within your solution, he was not funding you. How crazy. If you touch vitamin D as a researcher, he was not going to give you any money for that grant. You couldn't even go outside without getting a ticket, right? They wanted you away from that sunlight during COVID and lockdowns. They wanted you nowhere near that sun, right? So what did they promote instead? They promoted the shot challenge. Social media, you couldn't go nowhere on social media without seeing the shot challenge. Shot here, shot there, right? Well, did you know shots, alcohol depletes your vitamin D even more? So imagine you away from the sun and you taking shots or you doing whatever you're doing. You're not getting no sunlight. You're not taking no supplementation. You are literally weakening your immune system by the moment. They were so desperate to scare you so you can get this vaccine into your body that they wanted to put it into the mosquitoes, y'all. Straight up. Put into the mosquitoes. There is genetically modified mosquitoes flying around with mRNA technology. Not only that, they was paying people to put these harvesting buckets onto their private properties. So these mosquitoes that were genetically modified can start hatching and going all over your community. These mosquitoes were genetically modified to have nanoparticles, mRNA technology within them. So when they bite you, they are putting that into you. So they're literally like flying syringes, like Bill Gates said. It sounds crazy, but it's 100% facts, right? So what's less known is the graphene oxide that's also associated with the nanoparticle. Like, people don't know what it is. I didn't know what it was either until I dug deep. You got to type it in exactly in order for it to pop up. Go to Yandex. It ain't gonna pop up nowhere else really, unless you know what you're looking for. Let's use Brazil as an example. In 2014, they started a program where they was going to start releasing these genetically modified mosquitoes into the population because they wanted to combat dengue disease, right? Well, look at the chart. Look at the chart. From 2014 up to now, it went down a little bit, but then it exploded with dengue disease. They came out and said, oh, well, we have a vaccine for that. So what is this nanoparticle that contains graphene oxide? Well, you ain't gonna believe me because I didn't believe it at first until you look into it. Graphene oxide literally connects you as a person, your body, to the internet. Graphene oxide is an interface that connects you or any type of biology to the internet. And they are desperate to get this everywhere. If you haven't heard of smart dust, that's the same technology that smart dust uses. What they said at first about smart dust was, oh, that don't even exist. What are you talking about? Like, we spraying this and that over farmland. And then it went from that to, all right, it does exist, but we're only spraying it over farmland. We're just trying to get a reading in the statistics of the health of the vegetation. It can go through your skin. It can go through plants. It gets into it and it gives out a reading. It shoots out a reading to whoever's going to receive that on the other end. So it went from we're only using it on livestock and it only works on farmland and livestock and things like that to, okay, it works on people too. This graphene oxide is a connector. It is the connector that connects biology to the internet. And it's everywhere. It's hard to get away from it. They're spraying it from the air. It's in the food. It's in the water. If you haven't heard, Coca-Cola got caught with nanoparticles in the Coca-Cola. Who would have thought? Who would have thought a company with 666 literally in the logo is doing something shady? Something fishy here, right? Who knows? Coca-Cola. You crazy, Coke. And if you haven't heard, Coca-Cola and Microsoft have a partnership worth over $1.1 billion. Bill Gates, Microsoft, and Coca-Cola teaming up. Teaming up for what? So how is this nanoparticle graphene oxide technology powered? How does it stay on? How does it work? Well, before we talk about how it works, let's get familiar with a few terms. IoT, that stands for the Internet of Things. IOHT, that's the Internet of Health Things. And then WBAN, that's the Wireless Body Area Network. Talk about how these things stay charged. So the WBAN, the Wireless Body Area Network, is just part of the Internet of Things, and it's also a part of the Internet of Health Things. How is it powered? It's powered by your body's energy. So it harvests your body's ambient energy. It basically is like a leech. This technology leeches off of your body's energy to stay on. So what all of these categories have in common is they are all connected to the internet and they're all connected to the cloud. So if you have this technology in you, you as a person, your body is connected to the cloud, because what happens is these devices that might be in you or even the wearable technology is building a profile on you, and it is sending your information to the government. And this information is very detailed about you. We'll get into it in a little bit, but it's powered by your movement. It leeches off of your movement. It goes off of your movements. This nanoparticle graphene oxide technology is the same technology that Elon Musk uses in his Neuralink. So when we think about the Neuralink, we think about brain surgery, cables hanging out everywhere. No. We way past that. You don't even need to have surgery to have the Neuralink in your body. The Neuralink is literally injectable.
We're already a cyborg, faced directly with your cortical neurons particularly.
But doesn't that imply surgical insertion?
Not necessarily. You could go through the veins and arteries, because that provides...
Imply surgical insertion?
Not necessarily. You could go through the veins and arteries.
These are smart sensors. They keep track of everything, and they keep a running tally of what you're doing. They are so precise that they are reporting how hot something is that you are touching. If you are touching a cup, they are sending that information up to the government. But check this out. The problem with having this information sent up is not just transmitting information to the government. It can also receive information. It can also receive input to our bodies. It's not just one way. This is a two-way street. So one thing you're going to run into once you start coming across all this information is them trying to, if you can find the information, go on Yandex, you will find it. So one thing, once you find this information, they'll start trying to gaslight you, immediately trying to gaslight you like, oh, wow, this is technology for the health industry. We're going to be able to pre-diagnose you from home. You don't even have to come into the hospital. We're going to be able to see if you're sick or if you have a cough or if something's going on or something. No, You cannot have access to our bodies. No, you cannot. Period. Dot. So this nanotechnology using graphene oxide literally connects you to the cloud, and it builds a profile and it sends it to the medical industries. So they have a profile of you and they know more about you than you know about yourself. And this technology is also being sold right now as we speak as a service. There's services already being sold right now, connecting that person to the internet. So remember, this nanotechnology is programmable. It's like a computer, right? And they can load it up with whatever they want to, not just with different sicknesses, not just to read your body, but they can also load things like identification. They can load things like passport. They can load things like your banking information. They can load all of that onto your nanoparticles. So that way, if you get scanned, everything just pops up.
We will finally complete the biometric entry-exit visa tracking system, which we need desperately. For years, Congress has required biometric entry-exit visa tracking systems.
So this is where it becomes dangerous. If it wasn't already weird enough, this is where it becomes really dangerous, because if your banking information is on you and it's in you and it's a part of you, like they brag about, this is not no hypotheticals. They're talking about doing this right now as we speak with the fourth industrial revolution. We won't be carrying these cell phones around no more. They say the new cell phones will be built into the body. Well, how are they going to do that? How are you going to interface if something's in your body? Well, with the wearable technology that we have right now, we can kind of already do that. But imagine that technology built into your body. So this is where it becomes dangerous. If your banking information is built into you, built into these nanoparticle graphene oxide, imagine what they can do if they can turn your ability to buy off. I mean, they do that on PayPal. PayPal said that if you say something that they don't like, they have the right to charge you. So imagine a lot of these small mom and pop shops, they run off of PayPal. So they have all their information on there. So if they say something that's not liked by the mainstream, they get docked. That's crazy. But it gets even worse than that. So right now we have the ability to use cash. We can go around using cash anonymously. Well, what happens if they get rid of cash? Well, the same thing happened in 1933 with the gold standard. In 1933, they told everybody to turn their gold in. It's an emergency. We need your gold. Turn your gold in, right? And they bought it off of you. But looking back, they actually stole it off of you because people were turning their gold in for like $19. That's how much it was per ounce, 19 bucks. And after they got all the gold together, after they confiscated all the gold, they immediately at least doubled the price on that. It went above $40 once they got your gold. They then jacked the prices up. That's crazy. These are the people that we're dealing with right now, right? So if they get rid of cash overnight and your ability to buy is built into your body through your nanotechnology and your graphene oxide, they could turn you off and you won't have the ability to purchase anything. I mean, that's scriptural. You won't be able to buy or sell without the mark of the beast. So with that being said, that's why it's so crucial right now that we detox. I talked about nanokinase in my last video. You can also use the proper zeolite. If you want information on either one of those, hit me up on the inbox. I got you. I'm gonna take care of you. This graphene oxide is positively charged. So when you detox, you could put something that is negatively charged to cancel out the positive charge. So like we said, thank you, friends, family, my people. We in this together. We gonna make it out together. We gonna survive together. We gonna be strong together, but we gotta stay informed together. So if you have any information that you wanna send my way, you wanna make a video about it, you got any suggestions on video topics you want me to do, hit me up, let me know what you want me to talk about, and I'm gonna take care of it. Do your own research. Make sure that you understand this yourself, and it's researchable right now, because when they change the internet, some of the things that we might find today might not be on there later, because they are coming out with that. The internet driver's license, y'all. All right, y'all, I'm out.
It's not your